Hello guys, so today we just got a blue post regarding the next reset. So first of all, is this going to be 10.2.6? The timeline adds up, and they have also been stated that they will be performing an 8-hour maintenance, which is extremely long for a lot of these things. We have no idea when 10.2.6 will be arriving, but this one seems about right with the timing and the extended maintenance. Plus, the reason for the video and the reason for the extra speculations is quite simply there have been class changes. Class changes this late in a season always means something is coming. So, as they say here, the community manager made a blue post stating, as always, we're closely monitoring data on class performance as well as player feedback. With all that in mind, we've developed a following adjustments to classes that are over or underperforming in group content and PvP. These changes will go into effect with the scheduled weekly maintenance in each region. So, I will only be going over the PvE version of these changes because I don't really play PvP and I'm not one to talk about PvP plays. So, the changes are Druid, Resto Druid, Rejuvenation Healing increased by 12%. Does not affect PvP. So, right now in Mythic Plus, Resto Druid is one of the strongest healers there is, and they're clearing the highest keys there is out there. But Rejuvenation isn't really used in Mythic Plus, so it's really far down on their list in Mythic Plus. But in Raid, Rejuvenation is a huge part of their output, so this one is really nice to see. Maybe this is a part of getting Resto back into the Raid healing. I mean, 12% on Reju for Resto Druid in Raid might not be enough, but we'll see, and it's nice to see that Blizzard are actually changing something. So, the Evoker. Preservation. Developer notes. Preservation has been underutilized lately. It's part due to the range restriction. To help compensate for that, we're increasing the healing and defensiveness of Preservation so they can traverse the battlefield more easily and safely. And this is true. All of the Evoker classes has a really limited range, even though Preservation actually has the most range of the 3 specs. But it still means they're standing closer than other healers and range DPS, so it's a bit of an odd one, because melee is in melee with the tank, and ranged is around the 40-yard mark, but Preservation's range is around 30, so they are a bit of an odd spot to be. So this is going to just make it safer for them to be there, and maybe to stand closer in melee, maybe. So, the changes are Time of Need clones overall healing increased by 100%. Time of Need clones Living Flame healing increased by 16%. This is really nice, but no one is really using Time of Need because it's really not that good. And yeah, I mean, an increase of 100% may be enough to change it around, but I'm still a bit iffy. Life Giver's Flame heals for 80% of damage done was 3570. So this one is really nice. Hopefully it's going to help with the output and a more of the passive output, because Preservation is a lot about explosive healing and really just giving it all in once. But Life Givers is a more over time, so maybe it's enough. Inherent resistance reduced magic damage taken by 4 and 8% was 2 and 4. Only for Preservation Evoker. So more damage, magic damage reduction, it's nice. Hopefully it's going to be enough. I mean, it's double of what it was before, so hopefully this will help them out. Attuned to the Dream increases healing done and received by 3 to 6% was 2 and 4. Once again, just more for their own security. It's nice. Yeah. All of these changes actually only do so that the Preservation Evoker has an easier time moving around the fight and hopefully taking some larger hits without just plopping and dying. Next one is going to be Hunter. Marksmanship, all damage dealt by you and your pet's ability increased by 3%, and the same for Survival, all damage dealt by you and your pet increased by 3%. These two are a bit hard right now, because Marksmanship just can't compete to Beast Mastery. Why would you play Marksmanship when you can play Beast Mastery? It's an easier spec, and it performs way better. 3% is not going to be enough to make Marksmanship that more useful. Survival, on the other hand, Survival is a great alternative to playing Beast Mastery, because if you're playing in a raid comp and you need to move one of the ranged players to play melee instead, because it works better for the comp that way, a Beast Mastery going Survival actually isn't a bad idea. So this just incentivizes that even more, and it's actually not a bad idea. Mage. The mage changes are only Frost, and those are Flurry damage increased by 25%, Waterbolt and Water Jet damage increased by 25%, so it's the pet damage. Frostbolt damage increased by 10%, and Ice Lance damage increased by 5%. It's nice changes. I mean, Frostbolt damage and Ice Lance damage were kind of needed too. Flurry damage, Flurry isn't really the biggest hitter for a Frost Mage, so this one is really nice. I mean, it's going to be noticeable. Waterbolt and Water Jet damage increased by 25%. Once again, it's a nice to have. It's your pet's damage. It's going to be going up. So, all in all, Frost Mages, not bad. I mean, is this going to make them move from being mid of the pack, DPS-wise, to being an S tier? Hell no. But it's a nice step, and it's going to mean that they can probably compete a bit better now. Monk. Mistweaver. All healing reduced by 6% does not affect PvP combat. So this one is a bit bad, but Mistweaver output on its own is so big that 6%, it's something, yeah, but it's not going to be enough to kick them down from either raid or M+ spots. They're still extremely strong, and their output is still ridiculously good. Also, Shalon's gift healing increased by 6%. Jade Stomp healing and damage increased by 6%, and Expel Harm healing increased. So, Expel Harm is just their own self-heal, not really utilized that much. I mean, it's nice to have, and it's actually pretty good. Jade Fire Stomp healing and damage increased. That's fine. Usually only really used for Mythic Plus. It's not really going to be noticeable, because the output of the Stomp, both healing and damage, is actually not really that good. So 6% on that is not really going to be that noticeable. Shylon's gift healing increased by 6%. This one, at full 10 stacks and a decent amount of stats, I mean, it's incredibly strong. It's like if you're in a really bad situation, you have 10 stacks, and you have, for instance, a Venusaur trinket that just proc. If you then use Shalon's gift, it's like using Lay on Hands on your entire party in Mythic Plus. It's really strong. So just increasing that by 6%, it's really good. And the overall reduction of 6% is not going to be meaning that Mistweaver will be going down the tier list anytime soon. So, next one, Rogue. Sub-Rogue. Eviscerate damage reduced by 6% does not affect PvP. It's, once again, it's yeah, Eviscerate dealt a lot of damage for the Sub-Rogues, but 6%, and in their total output, it's not going to be that much, and it's not going to move Sub up or down tier lists, not at all. And last one, Shaman Elemental. All damage increased by 3%. Once again, it's a nice thing to have, and Elemental Shaman are actually really starting to climb both the raid tier list and the Mythic Plus tier list. They have actually started to deal an incredible amount of damage, so the utility they also bring is really not bad. Plus, it's the healer in the game, the DPS in the game with the shortest ranged interrupt. So, maybe they are going to start climbing even more. I mean, 3% is really not a lot, but it's something. It's getting there. It's going to get good. These one down here are going to be the PvP changes. I'm not going to go over these. This is really nice to see that Blizzard hasn't just totally abandoned this season and they're still trying to do something. As I said, this may be 10.2.6, but once again, we have no confirmation. We have no idea. The only thing they have still told us from Blizzard are still just question marks, and that we would know really soon. Because for a timeline and when the alpha is going out for the War Within, the new M+ season, and 10.2.7, all needs to be crammed in, and hopefully they can make it in time and not just postpone the War Within. Please don't move another deadline. I mean, move it if it means the expansion is going to be really, really good. But don't move it just because you're doing a bunch of minor things. I would rather lose 10.2.7 and use all of the staff working on that to be working on the War Within instead. With that said, I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. I'll hope you guys will be having a wonderful day. Once again, I'll see you next time. Bye.